How did it feel out there for you?
I felt pretty good. Um, let's see how I respond tonight and tomorrow, and kind of go from there. So, just trying to get back into it and have no hesitation out there.
Are you back a little earlier than maybe you thought you'd be?
Not really. I mean, it's still have to kind of figure things out, but as far as practice goes, no hesitation, kind of jumping in, and um, just have to make sure I'm comfortable in all situations out there.
So if you're not in tomorrow, you're pretty confident about Thursday, Saturday, that range?
Somewhere around there, we'll see. I think that's probably pretty safe. But like I said, I got to see how I respond tonight. It was a pretty good push today. Try and test it, and then go from there.
So did you finished the game obviously, and then did you start feeling it after, or how did that go down?
I felt it when I, not actually when I did it. It was weird. I jumped out for the next shift and went to take a face off, and was feeling it then, and kind of progressively, your adrenaline takes over, and you just finish the game, which is fine. And then I knew I was going to be sore the next day, and I was sore the next day. So had to kind of wait for it to calm down and just do some rehab, skated on my own over the weekend, and felt good enough to to get back into practice. And like I said, just gotta be smart with it, so don't come back too soon to make it worse.
What's your reaction then to the way the guys have grinded through these last two games?
Well, I think two different games. Well, it's kind of similar actually in the fact that our goalies played really, really well in the first period of both. You know, and then we were able to kind of break the game open in Montreal and keep our foot on the gas, which was great to see. It's great to see some guys have some big nights in Montreal, and then Upi, I thought he stood on his head against Pittsburgh, and that's a hungry team over there, and obviously we get those two challenges, which was phenomenal, and then just to get on a two-game win streak is huge for us, and we know we have to go, and we know that we have to keep getting points. There's no real moral victories right now. We have a homestand here, and we need to make some hay, and that was a huge 4 points that we got on the road. So now it's on to the next one, and making sure that everybody's ready to go.
How much of an opportunity is this? You guys haven't been great at home this year, but still 6 in a row at home is always going to be an opportunity.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing else you want to try and get back in the race than a homestand, and we know that the time is now, and the guys in the room know it. You can feel it, and it's kind of time to put up or shut up, and I think that I'm excited to see how the guys respond, and I think with Upi and Dev, they're both played really well, got some confidence, and that's going to help, and try and make sure that the details of our game are good, but I think our top guys understand the situation, and they're more than capable of getting it done.
Kyle, that's Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh had a lot of zone time, but as I watched that game, I never thought to myself they're not competing. It seemed like the team was still competing, even though Pittsburgh had the puck. They're still diving to block shots, getting in the way of passes, those types of things. Did you see the same thing, that the compete level was still good, even though Pittsburgh was getting some zone time?
I thought both games were awesome in that regard. In the Pittsburgh game, yeah, you could tell that they were a desperate team. I thought it was, obviously you're playing against Sid, but he was all over the ice. He was a real difference maker out there, and to just play against him, and I know they had the two called back, but to play as well as we did in the defensive zone and compete as much as we did was great to see. And that's something that has kind of been missing. There's games where we win, we're really good, and then we kind of take our foot off the gas. And if you do that a little bit in this league, it's going to come back to bite you. And I think that throughout that whole game in Pittsburgh, yeah, sometimes you're not going to execute, and that's okay. But guys were competing, and guys were hungry, and you could see it. Guys, they wanted to make the play, they wanted to block the shot, they wanted to get a puck out, and I thought that was a real positive in the game.
Was that the same reason the penalty kill was good, too? I know they scored a power play goal, but you had killed a minute 52 for that 5-on-3 and did a great job of it. Is that why the penalty kill was good, too, because of the reasons you just talked about?
Yeah, I think, guys, they wanted to be in the lanes, they stayed tight, and you could see there was a real sense of objective. That's a big moment in the game. It's a 5-on-3, and I know that they got the goal, but it didn't affect the momentum of the game. And when you kill off a minute 52 or whatever you said of a 5-on-3, you're going to get momentum from that because you know you did an unbelievable job. And for Z to get that goal late was just huge. I jumped up on my couch and sellied pretty hard. So it was just fantastic to see the guys really grind on that kill and then get rewarded for their efforts. And awesome to see Upi get a win like that when he really stood tall and the guys were competitive all night.
Did you guys just look at 2024 as a new start? It's like we're starting a new year. We can't do anything about what just happened, but we can do something about what we're doing moving forward.
I don't know if you can look at it as quite a new year because you know exactly what you have to do. We have 4 months left, and it's go time. And if it was a fresh start, everybody starts at 0-0, and you're right there. We're not right there. We know where we're at. We've played more games than almost everybody else, and we know where we're at in the standings. But at the same time, we have to take it one game at a time. But we know that we have to bank wins and bank points, and so we know that we know it's time to go now.
You guys are the only team in the league that's never beaten Seattle, and they come in and they're super hot, and you probably saw at least clips of the Winter Classic if you didn't watch the game. Just what kind of challenge are they?
Pretty big challenge. I did watch the Winter Classic, and my kids are pretty into it, so they're playing well. They're playing like a really good hockey team. They had their struggles to start, but they've really turned it on as of late, and their strength of their team is that they play an extremely effective team game. They play kind of the same way each line, and it's going to be a great test for us right away here to kick off this homestand. So I'm really excited to see how we come out.
Thanks, Scott.